Well, great to be back on Seven Media Sports Extra on YouTube. Kumase Asante Kotoko. Womu eburemu ewo wanchi against Young Apostles Kotoko. Eshe mienu Young Apostles ain't me ante and take it from me. Kumase Asante Kotoko. This is the second win for Asante Kotoko in the second half of the 2025-2026 Ghana Premier League season. It is so surprising, but I just want to be factual. This is the second win. The last time Akotoko a win here in the second half of the season was against Baseke Holy Stars. So 2 wins, second round in him, which is quite disappointing per the standard of Kumase Asante Kotoko. And for Coach Prince Owusu and Hamza Obeng, they took over from Karim Zito and they started on a poor note. That was last week. Narrow defeat to Accra House of Folk. Womonso Enya won first win for Kumase Asante Kotoko. The next thing I will talk about game Nidia Adesafo Nenyi by highlighting Tregu whilst I'm doing the talking. And when you're Kotoko fan, I'm expecting you not to really pay too much attention with regards to the overall performance of Kumase Asante Kotoko. Looking at where Kotoko is coming from. They've been in the woods for how long? They've struggled in the second half. So a victory, no, and also will pay attention to. The most important thing is the win. Nothing else but the win. And I believe if you're a fan of Kumasi Asante Kotoko, you really ought to pay attention. They did the most important thing, and that was to record a win over Young Apostles. And also, House of Folk and the share Asante Kotoko last week, which was a bitter pill to swallow. So, if their next game, Omotimi and a winner, I think to some extent, we need to be proud of the performance they put up today. Now, game Nidia, what I would say is a game of 2 halves. I think Kotoko started on a good note. The urgency in the attacking third was so palpable. The likes of Johnson, Opon, the likes of Albert Amwa, the likes of Morofin Donzo, they were pressing in the attacking third. And it is something share them with regards to Asante Kotoko performance this season. Kotoko, they don't press. And no, one of the weakness of Kumasi Asante Kotoko. But this time round, opening minutes against Young Apostles, Johnson Opon was pressing, Albert Amwa was pressing, and Morofin Donzo was also pressing. And in midfield, Hubert Jawu, Seth Kwadwo, and Prince Badu, they were also present in midfield to ensure that there was solidity. And at the back, Zakaria Fuseni, one of his best games for Kumasi Asante Kotoko, the partnership with Samba Ndongani O'Neill. And of course, Lord Amwa will give you that pace, will give you that runs in the attacking third, always ready to join the attack when the need arises. And Patrick Esiedu is also cast in that mood, always ready to join the attack when the need arises. And I saw something with regards to how Patrick Esiedu is seen against Young Apostles. At a point in time, you will see him in midfield, and he's one player. Some of the Kotoko fans are saying, say, Omuhun is why a midfielder. In Tinka, it drew 10 beer, coaches in system, Nanke Esiedu, and Besha midfield Honomo because of how Oboni game, any thing, and sometimes Utimi Bo is shooting from distance or by midfielder. Some of the supporters think omo huni so way out and out left back tinka games ni bi ho no ma yen fa no mra midfield obetimi ameki difference. So the first half clearly na it belongs to Kumasi Asante Kotoko. They started on a good note, 6 minutes, and Johnson upon Inya the opener for Kumasi Asante Kotoko. That glancing header after that sweet cross from Lord Amoa. Now, for the first half, like I said earlier on Kotoko, a bossy game, and it was so surprising because mihun young apostles against Hasselfolk and how our young apostles and so at home, a normal performance, okay. But first half ne deɛ na yemu bi kra deɛ say nye young apostles and Kotoko ene no ɛbɔ no. Now Samba Ndungani Oneo and so Emma the second goal, but his header took a wicked deflection. But in the second half, young apostles, they really upped their performance and they started to show promise. They started to dominate the game, and it took some good saves from goalkeeper Mohamed Kamara. Kamara assembly they can sometimes because the Kotoko fans till now they are yet to really get over the goal he conceded against Accra Hasselfolk. But I believe Ene Kamara was fantastic. He made a couple of good saves against young apostles. In as much as young apostles, they were not really threatening, but in the second half, they came all out and one-on-one, Kamara, saves. I think bear 2 one-on-one on Kwaopi, Ebabe Yibon or Yenesabe 2, and make a couple of good saves as well. So a game one, first half Nadia Kotoko, and a dominate year, and a second half on a young apostles, and so it me bounce it back strongly. But like I said earlier on, I don't want to really focus too much on the overall performance of Asante Kotoko and also pay attention to details. Talk about where they had it right, where they had it wrong, where they need to really improve. I don't want to really talk about phases of the game too much because of where Kotoko is coming from, because of how they've been disappointing in the second half of the season, and because of the defeat they suffered last week. So let's give them the benefit of the doubt. The most important thing, and I said the most important thing, and it's Kotoko traveled all the way to Wenchi and they recorded a 2-0 win over young apostles. Now, individual players, I think we need to really appreciate them. The gentleman who got the opener for Asante Kotoko, Johnson upon the goal was a thing of beauty. But apart from the goal, I think he needs to really put in work. If Johnson upon wants to stay at Kumasi Asante Kotoko beyond this season, I think apart from his goal-scoring instincts, even with his goal-scoring instincts, onya chance it was easier to score than to miss. But the finishing was very poor. So he needs to really improve if he wants to stay at Asante Kotoko beyond this season, because say okuta ball na eyana oye a bit shaky and the pass and then so a suspect kakra. So a big up to Johnson upon, and I think Seth Kwedo also stepped up today, and of course Zakaria Husseini's performance and was quite good. I think he was adjudged as the most valuable player of the match. So all in all, what I can say is it's good Kotoko picked up a win, because it's been that long since Kotoko recorded a win in the Ghana Premier League. And if you are Asante Kotoko, if you're a fan of Asante Kotoko, try as much as possible to pay attention to the results, because any DBA and I'll be me a game. Now be dominating 90 minutes. First half in the year, Kotoko a starting game ni ye, And like I said earlier on, for the very first time, I saw Kumasi Asante Kotoko pressing. Yes, so I've seen something new under Coach Prince Owusu and Hamza Obeng Kotoko pressing the attacking line. Morfin Donzo, Albert Amoa, and the others, mounting pressure, making it difficult for young apostles to build up play from the back. It is something unusual with Kumasi Asante Kotoko. But this time round, Mihunye, Sebibisa, take place, a plus. So moving forward, I think they ought to continue with that approach. Now the win, because of the win, Kotoko will move to 38 points. So after 23 matches, they have 38 points, and Kotoko at that fourth on the league table. First is Mediama. They drew against Samates, an away game. Second, Bibiani Gold Stars, they have 42 points. Mediama 45. Hasselhoff third with 40. Asante Kotoko fourth with 38 points. So between Kotoko and Hassan, a difference too. And between Kotoko and Mediama Sporting Club, a difference 7 points. Indeed, never say never. Never say never. And it is not over until it is all over. And like I said earlier on, the league is a marathon race, not a sprint race. Indeed, there is still more to overcome in the 2025-2026 Ghana Premier League season. Yeah, but let me hear from you in the comment section your take on the performance of Asante Kotoko against young apostles. Do well to subscribe to 7 Media Sports Extra on YouTube for the very best of sporting content. Have a wonderful day.